tuning in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringgold, and I know everyone is enjoying their weekend thus far. Now, I know it's been pretty rainy, but I have to say that I have been enjoying the cool weather, and I hope that fall is on its way. I think next week, fall is supposed to officially be here, so we are hoping that it stays cool. It's going to be raining all the way through Wednesday of next week, folks. So make sure you have your galoshes and your umbrellas and raincoats, rain boots, and everything else. Because it is definitely going to be a wet one. I am so excited, as usual, because I tell you guys I have the best, the most amazing, the incomparable guests that come and sit right next to me, and we have some great conversations right here on Sundays at the Square. If you're not familiar with Sundays at the Square, we are a community affairs radio show that comes on once a week, every Sunday morning, and we have the pulse and the beat on what's going on in the streets of Central Texas. Anything that has anything to do with nonprofit organizations, community events, just anything positive, you can hear it right here on Sundays at the Square. If you are ever interested in being a guest, if you have a show idea, or if you know about a community event and would love to let us know, please don't hesitate to contact us at B106 Hip Hop and R&B on Facebook. You can also contact me directly on Facebook at Toni Ringgold. That's ToniRinggold. Again, that's ToniRinggold. You can also find me on Instagram at Toni Ringgold Music. We just want to be abreast of everything that is going on, and we want to make sure that we get it out there to you, our listeners. Thank you, listeners, for always tuning in. And without further ado, I would love to have my guest introduce herself.
How are you, Toni?
I'm great.
It is so good to be with you today. I am Brenda Adams. I'm the president of the Killeen Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And our service area is in Killeen. We have approximately 80 members, really about 73 members at this time. And our organization is affiliated with the National Sorority, which is in Washington, D.C. Our sorority was founded January 13th, 1913 at Howard University. And there were 22 illustrious college-educated Black women who founded the organization and were determined not only to be driven by their academics, but also wanted to have that social connection, meeting and helping the needs of the community. So that's kind of nationally how we started. And then in Killeen in 74, February 15th, 1974 to be exact, we had 13 charter members who started our chapter there. And we're almost 45 years old.
Wow.
It's amazing how time flies. So we are, again, as you said, a nonprofit service organization, which basically means that we are akin to the needs of the community, whether it's helping with back to school supplies, whether it's youth initiatives, parades, Christmas parades, visiting in with the residents in the Indian Oaks and bingo games and bringing dinners to them, fall concerts and festivals, I should say, that are coming up. We want to help with those things. But we have a important event coming up in October. On October the 6th, it is our very, very first Teen Summit, because we are very concerned and with our youth in the community and things that are going on with them at school, at home, and in the community.
Yes.
And you know, Toni, a lot of times we hear things that our young people are making decisions about that we may not be as proud as we need to be about them.
Yes.
Things like, crime and getting into things that are not productive.
Right.
So we, just like you, want to have that positive connection with our young people. And that's what this summit is going to provide. It's going to be on Saturday, October the 6th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, Saturday, October the 6th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Killeen Community Center. And that center is located at 2201 East Veterans Memorial Boulevard in Killeen. And we're expecting at least 120 participants. And we're going to have workshops in the morning. We have some activities in the afternoon and an award ceremony. And parents can even participate as well. So that's a little bit about the Teen Summit that's coming up. It is free.
Free.
Free. Did you hear me say free?
I heard you say free.
Free food, free prizes, and all we need the participants to do, and again, we are targeting ages 11 to 18 years old. Mm-hmm. So basically talking about middle school and high school students. Mm-hmm. And we want them to just register.
Okay.
So the address to register is bit.ly/KAC Teen Summit. All one word, no spaces in that. So again, bit.ly, bit.ly/KAC TEENSUMMIT, KAC Teen Summit.
I am so excited.
Yes,
if
we
you
are
are
too.
just tuned in, you are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I am your host, Toni Ringgold. I am just, if you're
free.
Did
you hear me say free?
I got stuck for a minute there because you said free. Mm-hmm. You didn't say, oh, this is you have to pay this certain amount. And you said there'll be free food there for the kiddos.
We're going to do a breakfast and a lunch free. So basically all they have to do is register. Some of the things that we're going to provide for the students, we have workshops. The workshops are presented by members of our local agencies. Mm-hmm. Our Killeen Police Department will come and present a workshop that is entitled Getting to Know Your Peace Officers. Getting to know your peace officers. Yes. And for middle school and high school students, that's an important thing and skill and ability to have, because a lot of times they may think that the police are there to harm them or to catch them doing something or run from them. And we want them to know that the peace officers are in our communities to keep us safe. Exactly. To help us be mindful of the rules that guide our safety in our community, and they're there when we need them. So if, we're going to do a workshop on that.
And just to kind of interject, okay. I love when we do these types of events, not only for the students, but also for the officers as well. Because if a kid is getting into something or they're doing something that they shouldn't, and that officer recognizes that student, mm-hmm. they may say, oh, that's little Johnny from the Teen Summit. Right. I remember him. Right. Johnny, get over here. Let's talk about this. Right. They'll be more apt to, really kind of have that connection. They've built a rapport. So I believe it goes both ways.
I do too. And it's really about relationship building, isn't it?
It is.
And we want them, like you said, to be comfortable meeting that person in that arena and then seeing them in the community or at their school or at a social event in the community and be able to go up and speak to them, shake their hand. Some of the other workshops, we have Fort Hood Bronco Youth Services Center. They're going to provide a workshop that's entitled Money Matters. So This is about financial literacy with middle school and high school students.
Some of our parents need to be.
That's right. That's right.
Wonderful.
And so we want them to get the information that is so important and critical about knowing how to save money, the benefits of saving money. And the other workshops we're going to have the fire department come, and they're presenting a workshop on social media, the cyberbullying trap.
Oh, that's a
hot topic.
That's a really good. There have been so many suicides or mm-hmm. attempted suicides mm-hmm. Due to cyberbullying, and you wonder how is it that can affect a child so deeply. But it does, mm-hmm. and that is a very important topic. And I think even some of the kids that may do some of the bullying don't realize exactly how serious it is until something like that happens.
And you were saying a moment ago, adults could use lessons in that as well. So yes. We don't want to imply that just our young people need to be better skilled at knowing how to use the social media And we understand those human abilities and feelings that come up when you're working at a certain age and you've got a friend or an acquaintance and they get on your last nerve and you want to use your cell phone to let them know about it. But we can go too far with that.
Right.
And we're living in Texas where it is against the law to do so. So we want them to know before they make a huge mistake
Right.
with their cell phones and devices and social media, that if they, say words that cause someone to do harm, or as you said, suicide, or encourage them in any manner, that they're responsible.
Exactly. And even if something as catastrophic doesn't come of it, they have to understand that they're making themselves look really bad. When
Yes.
when you're a teenager and you're looking for a job, or you're wanting
yes.
to get employment, or you're looking for that scholarship, you want to get in a certain organization, I promise you the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look you up on social media.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see what you're posting. They want to see what you're talking about. They want to see what you're implying when you post on your social media. So you have to be very, very, very careful. And that's not just for kiddos. That's for adults as well. There have been very qualified, well-qualified candidates that have not gotten jobs just because they put something up that, may have been political, may have been racially charged, may have been anything like that can really hurt you and deter you from, it can change your life.
That's right.
It can really change your life.
That's right. And you made another good point, Toni. The theme of the day is, and I should have said that earlier, you only live once. Young people know it as YOLO. You
Yes.
only live once. And two of the other workshops that I failed to mention a moment ago, one is about emergency preparedness. How do I know in my home, for example, I'm a middle schooler, aged 11 to 14, safety. What do I need to be mindful? Do I need to know the exits if there's a fire in the home?
Right.
Like, at school, they're posted on the doors and the teachers and staff teach them how to do that. But when I'm at home, do I not need an action plan?
Right.
So we're going to talk about an emergency action plan for home, and even, what kind of emergency things should we keep in our book bags, for example? Should you keep a survival kit in a book bag prepared in your closet in case there's an emergency? What kind of things would you want to put in there?
Right.
And so we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
And then we're also going to have one that is called No Rope-a-Dope,
Okay.
No Wasted Life for Me.
I love it.
No rope-a-dope, no wasted life for me. So it is about, of course, drug awareness and prevention, and what kinds of things are out there in our community, in Killeen, in Temple, in Belton, that would cause a student to be in a trap. Peer pressure is a real deal.
It really is.
It really is. And so the world we live in is a different place, and young people aren't always able to say, no, that's not for me. But we want to teach them the skills to be able to say that and be mindful that it's okay for them not to have to fit in and not to
Right.
put things in their bodies that they don't know where they came from or what the chemical compounds might do to them when they're in their bodies, those kinds of things. So
Yes.
no rope-a-dope for me, no wasted life. Now, those workshops I just mentioned, Toni, are going to be presented in the morning.
Okay.
So students would come and participants would come. I keep calling them students because I just retired from school with teaching for 40 years. So I'm still not, everybody's a student to me. But
Yes.
anyway, our participants will check in from 8 until 8:30 on the day of the summit. And then we'll get them their work packets, their armbands, so that we know they're supposed to be there. And then from 9 to around 11:15, they're going to have rotational workshops for about 25 minutes. Okay. So they'll start in a group, and then their group kind of travels together. So we'll have 4 or 5
Is it similar ages?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that is a huge age span, 11 to 18. And so we're going to want to make those groups more age appropriate. And so we will definitely, depending on how many students register, we want to make sure we get those groups just right. And then around 11:15, we want to build in and design some activities that they're going to like. Things like 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Ooh.
Where they can sign up with a team name and 3 members of acquaintances they may know. They can all register together, give us their names. We'll give them about a 10-minute segment of the sport, and then we'll have the girls on one side of the gym and the boys on the other, and they'll be in those brackets, and we'll have winners with monetary prizes.
Ooh. Well, that sounds great.
And then if that's not their thing, they don't want to be involved in the 3-on-3 basketball, they could be spectators to that sport. Or we have another activity that's called spoken word or the rap challenge.
I love it. We're going to take a short break.
All right.
And I can't wait to hear more about that. You are tuned in to Sundays at the Square. I'm your host, Toni Ringgold. We'll be right back.